From your perspective, from the idea whose time perhaps has come or is coming, what's the momentum been like for Cape independence recently?
First of all, if we could, if we can deliver Cape independence in the Western Cape, we'll get to the point where it's support, or the US is going to support us in a heartbeat. That's absolutely clear. I can say that unequivocally. That they're not going to say that publicly. They didn't say it in as many words to me, but it's absolutely clear that we have their moral and ideological support for this. They absolutely understand the issues that are there. And the one message that I brought back really to the Cape independence movement is, these guys will absolutely support us. Now is our time, but we've got to do the hard work. We've got it. They're not going to come and magically deliver it for us. We're going to have to do it ourselves. And if they do it ourselves, we've got a strong ally. And I've got some, we developed some really strong allies behind the scenes, and people who will publicly start to come out and to make noises in our favor.
Right. So let's take some time to unpack what it is that we've heard over here. Cape independence is real. Cape independence is going to happen unless South Africans do something about it now. Cape independence is not a conspiracy theory, it's not scaremongering, and it is not us trying to scare South Africans to keep African foreigners in South Africa. Cape independence is supported by the United States of America. Now let's remind ourselves, who is the United States of America? The United States of America is the country that supported apartheid. They supported black South Africans being kept in Bantustans and being treated like animals as the apartheid government controlled and looted South Africa. America is a country that supports Israel in its destruction and genocide against Gaza. America is a country that has killed all its native citizens and has made sure that America, which is a settler colony just like Israel, is run by Anglo-Saxons because they've killed off all the American Indians. America is run by Donald Trump, a racist who believes that black people must go back to the plantation. When they say make America great again, they are talking about making sure that black Americans are put back on the plantation. Everything you're hearing about the deportation of illegal immigrants, Mexicans, and South Americans is all about making sure that there is no labor to work the land in America except for black Americans who need to go back to being slaves on the slave colony. You must also remember that when Cecil John Rhodes decided to colonize South Africa, Americans were some of the people that formed the soldiers that helped to colonize Kimberley. When he went through to Zimbabwe with the Pioneer Column to colonize Zimbabwe, Americans were part of that. And when we fought for our independence, America and the Department of Defense of America recruited 3,000 American mercenaries to fight against blacks who wanted independence in Zimbabwe. That's the America we're talking about. And remember, the biggest private security companies in South Africa are American, British, and Israeli.
If the militarists decide to take matters into their own hands, how would that affect what you are trying to do in a democratic sphere?
What I do know is the statistics that, for example, in the Western Cape, that the private security personnel outnumber government personnel 10 to 1. And we saw in the 2021 riots that it was the civilians protecting the police in the end, and not the other way around. But actually, if we look at what's actually played out in those situations, the people have power, and I think were the Western Cape people to be provoked into a response, it would probably be helpful for Cape independence.
So let's take time to listen to what he is saying and what he is not saying. First of all, the statement that he made is that if there was war, our security companies and the private citizens, white private citizens of South Africa, outnumber at least 10 to 1 the police and the military of South Africa in the Western Cape. And he believes that if there was a military fight, they would get Cape Independence because they are better armed and they outnumber the military and the police of South Africa. That he said. What he's not saying is that while they already outnumber the police and military of South Africa, they are recruiting Ukrainians, Zionists from Israel, and other people from all across the world, including Australia, where the DA has gone and put Home Affairs officers. And these people are coming into South Africa. They are also getting armed and given firearm licenses, while you black people don't get firearm licenses, and they are training each other. He also said that they've got the support of the United States. So for all we know, there's already CIA agents, special forces of the Americans. We know that Mossad is here, and we know the special forces of the Israelis are here already training these people. So what he is saying is that we are ready to fight and take the country. And do you see how he cleverly brings in the riots of 2021? What happened there? Poor black people and young black people rose up against white monopoly capital, looted their shops out of anger, and guess what? Who came to the rescue? Indians of Phoenix and white people began to shoot and kill black people. Who were the people who were said to have started it? Duduzile Zuma, Ike Khumalo, who started Dudula. The message is we can neutralize them. Listen.
As you say, the largest demographic group in the Western Cape is the so-called coloured people, who obviously are a diverse community even within themselves. But we know from polling that it's been clear for the last 3 or 4 years the stronger support for Cape independence is amongst the coloured community. They've always been the biggest group numerously, but that's been a consistent feature of our polling. And coloured people in the Western Cape instinctly support Cape independence. They're from the Cape; it's their country. They're connected to the Cape in a way that they're not connected to Limpopo or to KZN. So they naturally support independence.
So do you see how he then brings it full circle to what they call the original people of South Africa, the Khoi and the San? He brings in the colored people. But then he reminds you that these colored people have no connection with the people of Limpopo, KwaZulu-Natal, or anyway, because the truth of the matter is coloreds are the product of white people and black people and also Cape Malays. They are not original people of Africa. They are actually the sons and daughters of the same people that